we go. We've managed to get into the spot, and there's that water walk. It's almost excitement as they approach. So the reason they've chosen to come to this little bit of water as opposed to the dam is the dam is getting quite muddy and smelly, and this is actually pumped water, so it's nice and clean. And it's amazing, elephants will drink muddy water, but if they have the choice to drink clean water, they always do. So just in the couple of days I've been back, I've noticed that the ellies have been digging in the drainage lines a lot more to get cleaner water rather than drinking from the dams that are quite smelly at the moment. The Chamberlain's Love at the little pan in front of Gallagher. Lovely, thanks. The little boy lifting his head at us. Quite interesting, this tiny little baby. Look at him, he's on his knees to get his trunk down to the water. See if he slips in. They almost look so unsteady when they try to bend their knees. Go down again. Good girl. So you guys might have heard me talking there. The one cow came very, very close, and just to preempt anything bad happening, just change the tone of my voice slightly. I didn't have to shout, I didn't have to scream, but just get her to move away, realize that she's a little bit too close. Some people do let elephants put their trunks in and smell the vehicle and whatnot, which is all and great 90% of the time, but there will be that 1% of the time where it's not so good. And that, when it's not so good with elephants, can be very, very serious. They are very big and strong animals, and you have to have a lot of respect for them. So rather than let it get too close that there's a situation might happen, I'd rather just change my tone of voice a little bit and ask her to move away. I'm just going to move on so you can see them. Now they've had a drink, they're probably going to move off and start feeding. At least they seem to all have manners today. No one managed to defecate in the water. So we'll stay with the herd for a little bit longer. It's one nice thing about elephants. They're always nice and busy. Proper elephant traffic jam on the road. So the bushes are a little bit thick here, so I'm going to stay a little bit further away. Remember guys, if you have any questions, you can send them into questions@wildearth.tv or just use the hashtag #SafariLive on Twitter. And as it gets drier, these little watering points are going to become busier and busier elephant hubs. Good morning, Kevin from Boston. And Kevin would like to know, do elephants use ear flapping as a form of communication? To a very small degree, yes. Normally it's a defensive or aggressive posture where they'll raise their heads and raise their ears to make themselves look bigger. But and that's probably the closest it comes in terms of communication. Their ears are more sort of used as their air conditioning device, and have up to 8 liters of blood in their ears, and so the warm blood from the body is pumped into those ears, which are quite thin, and with flapping it cools the blood, and then the cool blood goes back into the body. But more, I would say, from the communication point of view, the elephants use the ears more for sort of posturing. So if they want to look bigger and more intimidating, open up their ears and show you how big they are. They do that to each other as well, specifically if they're about to have a disagreement. But I think that's probably the only form of communication you're going to get from their ears. So the bush is getting quite thick here, so we're not going to follow them further in here. All it would do is annoy them and possibly put us in a situation we want to. And they're a nice, relaxed herd, so we don't want to annoy any of the animals we see. So we're going to let them go on their merry way and go see what else we can find. But there's still some more on the road in front of us. We'll stay with them till they move off into the thickets. Good morning, Ramey. Welcome on Drive with us this morning. Ramey would like to know what would have happened if the little elephant had fallen into the pond. Well, Ramey, he probably would have just got a bit wet. There was an easy way for him to get out on the other side, but if it had been sort of a steeper, muddier thing, the adults would have helped the little elephant to get out. Good morning, Brenda from Pennsylvania. Brenda would like to know why the forest elephants are brown and these elephants are very grey. Brenda, having seen quite a few forest elephants, they also are very grey. They do look quite a lot darker a lot of the time because the soil there is much darker. These elephants spray themselves with a lot of dust and sand. But from a colour spectrum, I'd say the forest elephants and the savanna elephants are very similar in colour. But being in a drier climate, these guys might seem more grey. But as in my experience, they're very close in coloration. The only major differences that I've seen is in the eyes. Oh, look at the little... See, that's definitely a little boy. Little girls don't behave like that. He's practicing for when he's big and strong. Like most little boys, as soon as he's slightly unsure of himself, he runs back between his mom's legs. So guys, I think the questions I was asking you were too easy yesterday. That elephant that is in shot now, there's a whole bunch of trees, and what that elephant's eating, who knows what's the name of that plant? And I'll give you a little hint. Look at the shape of the leaves. So remember to send your answers to questions at wildearth.tv or use the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. I'll grab a branch for you to have a closer look at now as the ellies disappear. So look at the shape of the leaf is a very good indicator of what tree it is, and it's a hint for the name as well. So I think the questions I was asking you were a bit easy yesterday, so we're going to have to make them a bit more difficult today. Let's move on and see what else we can find. Probably, thanks. Yeah, forward a bit for you there. Just in the thickets there. A nice. Okay, well, we're going to say goodbye to this old buffalo boy. Apparently there's some interesting stuff happening with Scott.